He learned to control his breathing under extreme pressure. He could stay calm in hostile environments and negotiate during armed standoffs. But he could not tell the woman he loved where he was going that night. "My flight's in 3 hours," he said, standing in the doorway of the bedroom. "Another work trip?" Sarah asked while folding his shirt. Her tone was flat. She wasn't angry. She sounded tired. "Yes, just a few days." He avoided looking directly at her as he packed a small black duffel. "Not a work trip. A covert extraction mission." His name is Daniel Carter. Officially, he works as a senior intelligence analyst for the Department of Defense. In reality, he's a CIA field operative specializing in high-risk intelligence recovery. For years, he's handled missions overseas, tracking threats before they hit U.S. soil. And until recently, he believed he could protect the country and build a life with Sarah. They met 6 years ago. She was doing volunteer work in a refugee camp in Jordan. He was deployed under a diplomatic cover. She admired his kindness and calm nature. They reconnected later in the U.S., and it felt normal. Coffee dates, long drives, weekend hiking trips. Nothing like the world he really lived in. He kept his work hidden, believing secrecy was protection. But now secrecy was becoming distance. 3 weeks ago, he was assigned a priority mission. A rogue former CIA asset had resurfaced in Eastern Europe with classified nuclear deployment data. The agency suspected he was preparing to sell it to a foreign militia group. Daniel's task: track, engage, recover the intel, and prevent a potential global threat. No public reports. No room for failure. Operation codename: Silent Bridge. He knew it would be risky. He also knew it would require immediate departure and strict communications blackout. Still, he agreed. He always agrees. Sarah looked at him, waiting for an explanation she knew she wouldn't get. "Will you call?" she asked. "I'll try." Both knew he wouldn't. She nodded slowly, then reached into the drawer and pulled out a small Velcro patch. It was from her father's old army uniform. She'd given it to Daniel when they started dating long-distance years ago. It was her way of saying, "Come home safe." She gently placed it on top of his clothes. "Just don't disappear this time." He didn't answer. He couldn't. He left at 2:15 a.m. Within hours, he was on a military transport jet, crossing the Atlantic. Files and satellite photos were laid out in front of him. A grainy image of a man walking down a dark street. Target code: Phoenix. Mission objective: intercept Phoenix before he meets the buyers. Timeline: 3 days. Risk level: high. Surveillance intel indicated he may be compromised or planning to vanish. As the plane ascended, Daniel took out the patch from his pocket and looked at it. He remembered Sarah's last words as he closed the door behind him. "Every time you walk out, I don't know if I lose you a little or lose you completely." He set the patch down and focused on the dossier. The survival of millions may depend on the decisions he makes in the next 72 hours. But right now, one decision already cost him something. He just didn't know how much yet.
Daniel landed in Warsaw under a diplomatic passport. From there, a covert vehicle transported him to a safe house just outside the city center. The team was minimal: 2 tech agents handling surveillance support from Langley, and 1 local contact named Merrick assigned for transport and extraction logistics. Daniel didn't trust anyone fully. Operational reality taught him that alliances shift quickly in this line of work. 3 hours into the ground scan, Merrick updated him on Phoenix's movements. Target confirmed. He's meeting someone tonight, small restaurant near the riverside. No confirmed buyer yet, but he's getting nervous, Merrick said. Daniel nodded and adjusted his earpiece. Any sign of interference from competing agencies? Possibly. Russian chatter increased in the last 12 hours. That was enough to accelerate the operation. While preparing for surveillance, Daniel received a message from Sarah. Just 1 line. "Let me know you're safe." He typed a response, paused, and deleted it. He couldn't reveal location or mission. Leaving it unanswered was safer. He stepped into the cold night wearing a plain coat. He walked into the city zone, switching routes twice to detect potential tails. His training kicked in: posture calm, pace natural, eyes registering reflection patterns in windows and streetlights. No pursuer detected. Inside the small restaurant, Phoenix was already seated. Early 40s, unshaven, body language uneasy. He was alone, but his eyes showed awareness. Not scared, calculating. Daniel sat 2 tables behind him. He placed a small encrypted signal relay under the table. Langley confirmed audio stable. Phoenix muttered quietly while stirring his drink. "They're watching me. I want out." Daniel quietly listened. The waitress approached Phoenix with a small folded note. He opened it discreetly. "Change location." Now, Phoenix's heartbeat accelerated. He left abruptly. Daniel followed at a safe distance. He walked out onto the river path, narrow lights casting faint reflections on the water. Phoenix glanced back twice. Daniel kept his shadow position. Suddenly, a car approached fast. Phoenix froze. Before he could turn away, 2 men stepped out. No words. One lunged. Daniel broke into sprint. He reached them right as one attacker lifted Phoenix by the collar. Daniel struck hard, disarming the nearest attacker and forcing him down. The second man swung a knife. Daniel blocked and countered with measured force. Attack neutralized. Phoenix collapsed against the car, breathing heavily. "You don't understand," Phoenix muttered, terrified. "They're not just after the data." Daniel grabbed him firmly. "Who else is involved? Where's the drive?" Phoenix shook his head. "It's not a drive. It's stored remotely. And if I don't confirm transfer by tomorrow morning, automatic release." Daniel's earpiece buzzed. Langley analyst voice, "Carter, this changes the scope. We may have less than 18 hours. Daniel looked directly at Phoenix. "And who starts that release?" Phoenix hesitated. "Me and one other contact. Someone inside your agency." The words hit harder than expected. Field compromised. Mission compromised. Possibly internal leak. Daniel pressed for more, but Phoenix only said one thing before losing consciousness from shock. "Check your own people before you try saving anyone else." Daniel signaled for extraction. Merrick arrived within minutes to move Phoenix. As the vehicle sped off toward a secure location, Daniel looked at his phone again. No service. He imagined Sarah waiting, thinking he simply ignored her. He wasn't ignoring her. He was preventing chaos. But every hour he stayed silent felt like another step closer to losing her. The safe house was quiet, dimly lit, and heavily secured. Phoenix had been stabilized, sedated, and placed under armed watch. While medical staff monitored him, Daniel stood across the room, staring at the encrypted briefing that had just arrived from Langley. Internal compromise. High-level breach. Potential national threat. That meant even among his own agency, someone could be working against him. This shifted the mission from foreign intelligence containment to internal counterintelligence exposure. The danger wasn't just in the field, it could be coming from Washington. And yet, while all this unfolded, his personal life continued without pause. On his encrypted civilian phone, there were 4 unread messages from Sarah. Message 1, "It's 6 a.m. here. Can you at least tell me you're okay?" Message 2, "I know you can't say much. Just tell me you're safe." Message 3, "Or tell me if I'm waiting for nothing." Message 4, "Daniel." He placed the phone face down. He couldn't respond right now. If his communications were compromised, any contact could put her at risk. Maria, the lead intelligence analyst from Langley, appeared on the video feed. "Daniel, you need to hear this." Phoenix wasn't lying. He didn't come here just to sell data. He came to escape. "Our confirmation just came in. There's suspicion that someone inside is feeding location intel to other countries. They used Phoenix to test international response." Daniel listened carefully. "So someone inside is using rogue operations to evaluate our response strategies?" "Yes. And the list of access includes your division, meaning I might be on the target list too," Daniel responded. "Not might," Maria corrected. "Most likely." He took a deep breath. "What about the remote release?" He said there are 2 keys. "We haven't identified the second contact yet, but intel suggests that if Phoenix doesn't manually abort the protocol within 16 hours, the classified data gets sent to unknown entities." Daniel looked at Phoenix through the glass. He was unconscious. If he didn't wake up soon, containment would be impossible. "Then I wake him up." "No, that's risky. The extraction could fail. It'll pressure him." Daniel responded flatly, Pressure already exists. We're running against time. Maria paused. We also ran a risk profile on your personal connections. Daniel, you're compromised emotionally. Your proximity to your partner is raising concerns. We need to ensure nothing distracts you during the mission. He looked directly into the camera. My personal life has nothing to do with this mission. You're wrong, Maria said. If they know how to get to you, they'll use it. And they already know about her. Daniel's jaw clenched. Do they have a location reference? No. But your silence won't keep her safe forever. Merrick. Daniel turned to his local contact. I want a direct secure check on my partner immediately. No trace. No approach. Just verify she's safe. Merrick hesitated. Won't that expose? Do it without exposure. You know how. Merrick nodded and left. Daniel reactivated the feed. I will finish this mission, Maria. But don't bring her into this. You already did, she replied. He ended the call. He stood still, processing the weight of both wars he was fighting, one against espionage, one against distance. He had chosen duty, but duty always had a price. Phoenix began to stir. Groggy weak, but awake. Daniel entered the medical room. We're out of time. You need to talk. Now. Phoenix slowly looked at him. You still think you can save everything? Daniel didn't blink. I have to. Phoenix stared for a moment, then whispered, then be ready to lose something. Phoenix was now partially coherent, but still weak. The medical team reduced sedation just enough for communication. Daniel stood at his bedside, recorder in hand. You said there's a second person with access to the data release protocol. Who is it? Phoenix spoke slowly, voice rough. She worked in signals analysis. Codename Falcon. Trust me, if she's involved, this isn't just a data leak. It'll trigger multiple automated backups sent to foreign intercept groups. Where is she? I don't know, Phoenix admitted. But she's scared. They won't let her walk away like I tried to. Who are they? Daniel asked. Phoenix shook his head. Not foreign. Internal. If I talk more, they'll come for me. And you? Daniel leaned closer. They already are. Phoenix sighed. Then understand this. You're not being observed just as a field asset. You're being tested. Daniel paused. Tested for what? If you'll choose your country over everything else. Daniel stepped back, absorbing the implication. Before he could ask more, the safe house lights flickered. Immediate alert. Merrick rushed in. We've got unmarked vehicles circling the perimeter. Unknown agents, no signals on tactical channels. Daniel activated the internal lockdown. Evacuate Phoenix now. Secondary exit. No direct route. Take him to Safe House Echo. What about you? Merrick asked. I'll hold here to cut their trace. Then regroup. As the team initiated escape procedures, Daniel checked his phone. One new voicemail from Sarah. Voice low, tired. Daniel, I'm trying to understand. But you left, and I feel like I'm the only one fighting to keep us together. If this is how it's going to be, I need to know before I break completely. He didn't replay it. He couldn't. A sudden explosion rocked the outer corridor. Daniel grabbed his tactical kit and rushed to the surveillance room. Intrusions detected on the west entry point. Thermal scans showed 3 armed intruders. He activated internal silent defense protocols, shutting down power in non-critical rooms. Using night optics, he navigated the hallway. Footsteps approached. He positioned behind cover. The first intruder entered. Daniel silently disarmed him, rendering him unconscious. The second attacker spotted movement and fired. Daniel returned controlled shots, incapacitating him. The third intruder froze but reached for a comm device. Abort. Daniel ordered. The man hesitated, then transmitted a coded emergency alert to someone unknown. And before Daniel could react, the intruder threw the device to the ground, shattering it. Daniel restrained him. Who sent you? The attacker stared back calmly. Check your secure line. It's already done. What's done? Daniel demanded. The attacker smirked. You'll choose now. Daniel searched his interface. A priority encrypted alert from Langley flashed on screen. Alert. Possible compromise. Partner location flagged. Security requested. Daniel's eyes widened. That wasn't from his request to Merrick. That was from an external monitoring system. Someone had located Sarah's apartment. No direct threat reported yet, but someone was probing. Merrick returned via Phoenix is mobile. But we've got another issue. Someone tagged your partner's location. And this time, it's not a precaution. It's a threat vector. Daniel made a decision. Divert next extraction phase. I'm heading to fix this myself. Mission status adapted. That will go against direct orders, Merrick replied. Daniel looked at Phoenix on the screen. Internal leak. Compromise mission. And now they're using her. Merrick paused. So what's the new priority? Both Daniels said. Prevent the release and protect her. That's not official protocol. It's mine. He grabbed his gear and headed for the emergency exit. Daniel moved quickly through the extraction tunnel, tactical bag over his shoulder. The moment he stepped outside the safe house perimeter, he felt the pressure double. This was no longer just about stopping Phoenix's protocol. Now it was personal. The people working against him had figured out his weakest point, Sarah. He contacted Merrick through secure comm status update on Sarah's location. She's still at her apartment. No direct threat detected, but her network was scanned twice in the last hour. Those scans were not random, meaning someone is preparing something, Daniel replied. Yes, they're not attacking yet. They're checking if she's expendable. Daniel's pace increased. I want a silent perimeter team positioned around her residence. No engagement unless a threat is confirmed. Done, Merrick replied. But Daniel Langley is not approving this diversion. I no longer need approval, Daniel said. He arrived at the next transport point, an underground service access near the river. A dark sedan pulled in. Merrick was driving. You're risking everything, Merrick said as Daniel got in. Daniel answered without hesitation. Everything was at risk when they involved her. Merrick accelerated. Update on the protocol. Phoenix regained a bit of clarity during transport. He identified the activation site. It's at a secure relay location 42 kilometers east, inside abandoned industrial facilities. Keys are dual-triggered. One from Phoenix, one from Falcon. So we locate Falcon, Daniel said. Correct. But we have one more development. Falcon is not just an analyst. She's embedded in a risk monitoring division. And Merrick hesitated. Say it, Daniel said sharply. She requested NSA protection 2 days ago. They denied it. She's now off the grid. Likely running. Daniel absorbed that. She had seen the threat coming and tried to escape. The agency didn't support her. How long until remote release, he asked. 13 hours, 52 minutes. Daniel took a breath. Enough time to prevent it. Barely, but not enough time to keep personal life intact. He checked his civilian phone. Another message from Sarah. I woke up at 3 a.m. thinking you might be gone forever. I can deal with distance, but I can't deal with silence. I just need the truth, Daniel. What am I to you? Someone safe to leave behind. He turned off the screen and looked out the window. Give me access to her building, he said. Merrick glanced at him. Now, yes, I have to talk to her before they use her as leverage. And if you reveal something you're not supposed to, Daniel's answer was cold and simple. Then consider this my resignation letter. When they arrived near her building, Daniel exited and walked alone. He wore a baseball cap and removed all tactical gear except a concealed comm and sidearm. He buzzed her apartment. She opened the door slowly. Her eyes were red from tears and lack of sleep. She stared at him. You look different. I need 5 minutes, he said. You've ignored me for days, she replied. Now you show up at 4 a.m. and ask for 5 minutes? I'm asking, he repeated. Calm but firm. She stepped aside. Inside, he didn't sit. Something is happening. I can't explain everything. But I need you to leave this place within the hour. Why? She whispered. Because you're in danger. Not because of anything you did, but because of me. Her breathing became shaky. You're telling me your job is putting my life at risk? Yes, he said directly. She stared at him for a long moment, then asked one quiet question. Are you choosing to protect me or the mission? Daniel didn't flinch. Both. But I won't lose you because of this, she replied. Then prove it. He nodded once. I will. He stepped back toward the door. Where are you going? She asked. To finish something before it destroys us. Daniel left Sarah's apartment and rejoined Merrick outside. His decision was clear now. He would finish the mission, but not at the expense of the one person who had waited for him without understanding why. Is she safe? Merrick asked. For now, Daniel said. I told her to leave within the hour. She'll go to a secure location. Did you tell her everything? No. But I told her enough. Merrick nodded. We've located Falcon. Where? Daniel asked. 6 kilometers from the relay site. She's hiding in an abandoned customs outpost. If we move now, we can intercept before she panics. Daniel checked the time. 13 hours and 22 minutes left. They arrived at the outpost just before dawn. The place was cold, empty, plaster chipping from the walls. A single infrared signature detected in the back room. Daniel entered slowly, hands visible. Falcon, mid-30s, pale, stressed, pointed a compact pistol directly at him. Don't come any closer, she warned. I'm not here to arrest you, Daniel said. I'm here to stop this before it escalates. She shook her head. It's too late. They've already logged my location. They'll come for both of us. Then we need to move now, Daniel replied. Phoenix is still alive. We have the primary access key. You're the second. We stop the release if you help. Falcon's eyes flickered. You don't know what they're willing to do. I know exactly what they're willing to do, Daniel said. They attempted to expose someone close to me, just to break my judgment. Falcon lowered her weapon slowly. They're doing the same to me. My brother is under watch. Help us end this, and I'll get him secured, Daniel said. We don't have another option. She exhaled. Fine. But once we initiate the shutdown, they'll try to eliminate everyone involved. Not if we're already gone. They moved quickly to the relay site, an industrial warehouse under a false corporate cover. Merrick drove while coordinating clearance. At 9:40 a.m., they breached entry. The terminal was embedded behind a mechanical press. Falcon accessed it with a biometric override. Phoenix, remotely stabilized, initiated his sequence. Finalizing abort protocol, Falcon said. 10 seconds. A loud engine revved outside. Merrick checked the cameras. Unmarked convoy approaching. 4 SUVs. Moving fast. Daniel drew his weapon. Speed it up. 5 seconds, Falcon's voice trembled. Gunfire erupted outside. Merrick radioed. They're breaching. Daniel stood between Falcon and the entry point, returning fire at the first intruders. 3 seconds. A bullet struck the terminal casing, but Falcon continued typing. 2. Another explosion rocked the sidewall. 1. The screen flashed. Data release aborted. Core lockdown engaged. Falcon looked at Daniel. It's done. Move, Daniel ordered. They evacuated through a maintenance corridor. Merrick shifted extraction vehicle into motion 3 seconds before rounds tore through the warehouse wall. No one spoke during the 20-minute escape. Falcon checked her brother's tracker safe. Merrick received confirmation. Phoenix in secure custody. Daniel finally allowed himself a breath. He reached for his phone. One new message from Sarah. I'm on my way to the location you suggested. I don't understand all of this, but I'm still here. He stared out the window. Merrick asked, what will happen now? They'll investigate the breach, Daniel said. Probably want to suspend or interrogate me. Will you let them? Merrick asked. Daniel closed his eyes briefly. I've done my part, and I'm done hiding the rest. Merrick nodded. And her. Daniel answered quietly, but firmly. I'll tell her everything I can. And if that's not enough, at least she'll know I didn't let my silence break us. He looked at the patch Sarah had given him, still in his pocket. This mission was over. The next one was saving what was left of his life, without secrecy.